So firstly, thank you, Cafe Mutual for having me and having Motilal Oswal at this conference. I think overall it's been great experience, and I hope to be a part of many more in the future. In terms of the first question, I think the buy right sit tight philosophy, I think is an excellent philosophy that still is the most important philosophy at our AMC. We believe that any equity investor, and we tend to be a more equity focused fund house, needs to sort of follow that philosophy in a very deep way. So I think what we've seen is people who do buy right and sit tight, or at least a sit tight, tend to be the most successful investors. In terms of our sort of recent foray into passive funds, I think it goes with our group philosophy, which is think equity, think Motilal Oswal. We as a group, used to be and still are one of the largest stockbrokers in the country. And I think when initially, I think 2000, if you asked us in 2010 about why are you guys going to the asset management business, you guys are brokers, and now people are asking the same question as to why are you guys doing passive, you guys are asset managers. So I think Think Equity, Think Motilal Oswal is the sort of core tenet of the organization, and we believe that passive funds is going to be equally important in the next 5 to 10 years time than it is with our traditional business, which obviously still says the core to the AMC. So I think that's what I would like to say. ETFs, if you look at India, are more relevant to a certain category of investors. So if you look at, say, the entire spectrum of investors in India, ETFs are primarily used by government pension funds, institutions, family offices, and a lot of retail investors who want to buy on the exchange. So we sort of saw this trend about 4 or 5 years ago, which is why I would say 9 out of 10 funds that we've launched over the last 2 years have been index funds, because index funds are a lot simpler for investors. They're very easy to set up SIPs. You can obviously offer some sort of distribution commission to our partners. So we believe that, especially the MFD community, index funds offer a lot more value in terms of simplicity and also in terms of structure than do ETFs. Which, to be honest, as I said, it's more, at least so far, what we've seen is they're more popular amongst the institutions, family offices, and obviously the retail investors who want to buy directly on the exchange. Passive is more of a strategy, more of an allocation strategy. It's not either active or either passive. What we've seen is that the US, passives have been incredibly popular, but still, if you look at most investor portfolios, they tend, at least in the ultra HNI segment, they tend to be 50 active, 50 passive. So we believe that, today the allocation of passive funds in an average portfolio is very low, and the idea is that, over time we see that going up to say 30, 40%. So the idea is not to, have a passive only sort of platform, but it's to make sure that, MFDs and distributors and partners, adopt passive in a way in which you can offer something meaningful to your client. For example, if you look at international investing, it's very hard for an MFD to figure out which fund to buy in the US, because there's hundreds and thousands of options, and there a passive fund can make it super simple. Also, if you want to look at allocation to something like gold, then a passive fund makes a lot more sense than buying physical gold. So I think it really depends on what an MFD is looking for in terms of how he wants to structure a client portfolio. And if a passive fund is something which is simple and effective, then he or she should really go for it.